Hi, this is Pastor Bob. Thank you for joining me today for my State of the Church address. No fancy introductions, no commercials, nothing else, just my heart to your heart. And I have some things that I want to share with you today, and I hope that you'll stay with me all the way to the end of this video, because there's some things on my heart I'd like to share with you, my family. So, State of the Church address. What is church? It's not a building. We've talked about that. Church is people. So what I want to talk about today is the state of the people, the Christians involved together, and more specifically, in our movement, in the Christian heavy metal movement. Now, some of you are honorary metalheads. You don't like heavy metal and you follow me every day, and thank you for that. So we include a whole lot of people, and it just happens to be our target audience, but we have so many more. But I want to start today by saying this is still important. This is how we started the year. Onward, Christian soldiers. We have a lot of work to do. And you know, folks, this has been a difficult time. All around the world, we see a lot of junk going on. We have a lot of anti-Christian propaganda going on today in many governments, including our own here in the United States. And we still have a lot to do together, but there's still so much that you and I need to do together. So clearly we're not finished yet. You know, it's been 54 years since God called me to help to pioneer Christian rock. And I've been actively involved for 50 years this year now. And I feel like I'm just getting started in a lot of ways. I'm 70 years old now, and I hope I have a lot of longevity. And somebody actually wrote to me today and says, I hope you're not offended by this question, but what will happen to Sanctuary once you pass on? And I'm happy to say that we'll keep going. We have a great staff and people that have been with me, walking with me in this ministry. Most of them have been here for many decades, a long time, not going anywhere. And as some of you know, I've been preparing to step down just a little bit. I'm still the old guy in charge, but I've got some great people that have been working on carrying things on, and we have the greatest podcasters, the greatest teachers, the great fellowship that we all enjoy together, which is a lot of what I want to talk about today. We're not finished. There has never been a time when Sanctuary, the ministry of Sanctuary, we don't have to give it a name, the ministry of Jesus Christ going out into the world and making a difference. And I feel like the only reason that I'm still here, that at 70 I'm still involved, is that I truly care about you and I care about this ministry. It's in my heart. It's the thing that motivates me. It's the thing that gets me up in the mornings. So it's still really important to me. And I believe, again, that God has some great things in store as we move forward. This isn't a hype video. It's a passion that I feel from my innermost being, and it's a passion that I really want to share with you. So we need to continue to disciple those people that God has given us, and we've never been more aware of that. I love traveling and having you coming up and saying, Pastor Bob, I want to tell you my story. And I want to tell you the influence that Sanctuary has had on my life, or the movement, or this band, or whatever. I want to tell you my story because there's so many stories. And I love that part of it. And I love the fact that we are family and we've shared history together. So, onward, Christian soldiers. We want to do our first confab, conference. Actually, this July. The Immortal Festival in Ohio is July 22nd and 23rd. We would like to do the Sanctuary Conference July 21st until the noon on the 22nd. And then, of course, Immortal Festival will start. And I think it'd be great. Those people that are coming to the festival anyway could come a day early, and we'd love to spend some time with you. I'd like you to write below if that's something you would be interested in. We're still putting some pieces together, still deciding if it's something that's feasible for us and something that people would like. And so we will ascertain that and figure it out. And then, there's so many things that we'd like to do online with you. And not just my podcast or Chris and Don or Jamie or Bob 2.0 or Scott or, all the many people that are involved with this, Todd. But there are some other live ones that we're really ready to get back to. I moved 5 months ago, and I love my new home, and we have a much larger place for the homeless ministry here. My mom and I sold our home, and it was torn down. It was beyond repair. That's the reason that we had to move. And then we were able to sell some farmland, and that we had, that my father actually left to my mom, and my mom and I were able to actually move into this beautiful place, and we've got a great place for the homeless ministry here, which is awesome. And we're still working on the internet. Some of you say, Pastor Bob, why didn't you get back to me? When I write to you right away. Sometimes it's because I have no internet to do it. We haven't been able to go live with our live shows for a while, and we're hoping that all this will be taken care of soon. We're in 8 acres of trees right here, and the signal is really bad, and they're trying different things, and we have a company that specializes in this kind of a problem that's working with it, and it's been 5 months of this, so we'll hope that that's taken care of. But the Odd Couple Joy Story, 2 Pastor Bobs and a microphone, some of our pop-up hangouts, all of those things will be happening again soon as we continue and as we go into the future. We want to spend more time with you. And then our dream also is to preach the gospel to those who haven't heard it yet. We'd like to open one of these days a Christian heavy metal diner. I know. And a diner as a church, and Socratic discussion and great things happening there. And I'll talk about that more in the future as we get closer to it. Right now it's a dream, and there's no feasible way we can do it, but we'll see what happens. So we still need some funding as well. And this is the point where most people turn it off, and I'd like you to keep it on for just a minute, because I want to speak from my heart, and it's not easy for me to speak about finances. But it takes finances to move on. So I've had a lot of ideas for this. I thought, well, I could do a fundraiser where you have a barometer, and you raise funds, and then you get to the top of this, this graph, and then you've reached the goal, and we could continue to fundraise until we get there, to what we feel like we need to just kind of break even to keep the homeless ministry and sanctuary and everything going. And then I thought, well, I could appeal to people to do a monthly pledge, which would be really wonderful if people would do that. But then I thought, the thing that I've always counted on is showing people the need and them simply responding because God tells them to. That's what I really want. And so this is not a pressure fundraiser. This is me letting you know what the needs are, and if you feel like it's something you want to be involved in as the church, totally up to you. So the homeless ministry, it's a little discouraging at the moment, I have to be honest. We have not been able to find volunteers. We just haven't. COVID kind of wiped out all of our volunteers and a lot of our convenient meeting places. Although we have stepped it up and we've added some new places. But we're serving in several locations, but not enough help and not enough resources to do what we'd really like to do and feel like we need to do. We're still feeding almost every day. We also pick up food all the time. And we're distributing that food to not only us, but to 7 other ministries who have similar ministries that we feel like we could plug into and help them as well. We're trying to focus on life-changing relationships as much as possible. Excuse me. And so the homeless ministry continues to be very important to us, and we want to continue to do it, even though we've had to cut back a little bit because of finances. And then something else I don't talk about hardly ever is Sanctuary International. I feel like we need to serve you better. I don't feel like we're doing enough. And the things that I would like to do all involve some financing. We'd like to do an app, a sanctuary app, something that would bring a lot of ministries together, not just ours, and something that would be kind of a one-stop shop for people that need ministry, the interaction, whatever it might be. And there's so much we could do with that if we were just able to put it together, updating our website, making it more interactive. The sanctuary conferences, the festivals, all things we'd like to continue to be involved with a whole lot more in the future. And then a sanctuary festival in the United States. We've worked with so many festivals around the world, and it's time for us to begin to do a little more in the United States. We need a little bit of a social media boost, and social media has not been kind to us. We've been ramped down on many places, including YouTube, especially on Facebook. I'm reaching about 1/5 of the people that we used to reach. They keep ramping us down, and we get hidden in the algorithms. And I've had a lot of, quite a few red tags saying that my content doesn't meet the standards, and it's simply my podcasts, which are just Christian. So that's been a little frustrating, but we need people to work with our social media a whole lot more. I'm always overwhelmed with people writing in, and I don't have enough help to answer your questions and your comments. It's honestly been a couple of years since I've even looked at the messages on Facebook. I just can't get to it. So people to help is a big thing. And then I want to tell you that we're also committed to your discipleship. We've put out several books, and we have a few more this year that are ready to come out. One is just about ready to send to the publisher now, and we'll talk more about that. And we have several more before the year is over that I hope will be a blessing to you as well. We are excited that so many people have gotten involved with Sanctuary financially. And thank you, those of you that are committed every month and committed to helping us with finances. But we could use some more. I hate to say that, but it's true. And this is in God's hands, ultimately. It's why I hate doing fundraisers. Jim Laverty always tells me that if you don't let people know the needs, they don't know how to respond. And I always hear that, and I think he's right. So this is me telling you the needs, and there isn't any pressure. But if God lays something on your heart, I would love that. You'll find the place to go right below. It's first on the list, and it's our giving page, and you can go there. We would love monthly pledges, no matter what it is. It helps us to calculate a little more, to say, okay, we know we have this much coming in, we can do this much more. With the homeless ministry, with Sanctuary, with all the things that we're doing. And folks, thank you once again for being involved in this fantastic ministry. It is the joy of my life to serve you. And I mean that. And at 70 years old, I still feel that same excitement that I've always felt for the future, for things that God's doing. But I still feel the same camaraderie with you. I love that we're family. I love that we are the church together. And I love, folks, that you're joining me and that you've listened all the way to the end of this podcast. Thank you. And thank you for being involved with Sanctuary. And as I say every day, God bless you. And don't forget, you are blessed. So go and be a blessing.